Well, Shark Tank is great you brought that up because I think it's very instructive for entrepreneurs that are looking to raise
Mm,
capital. I always advise them to look at shows like that. There's forget the name of there's another show with Marcus Lemonis
mhm,
where he's going out and helping entrepreneurs turn businesses around. But when you watch, all you have to do is watch one episode of Shark Tank. Um, One, these are angel investors, right? So these
mhm.
are successful entrepreneurs in their own right who they've exited their own business, sometimes multiple businesses, and now they're looking to invest in other businesses. But take note of the questions they ask and in the order in which they ask them, right? So almost always, the very first question they will ask, very first series of questions they will ask are around finances,
Yes.
and because they want to understand what kind of traction you have already, right?
Mhm.
And they're looking to understand the financial model of your business because at the end of the day, an investor wants a return on their investment. That's what they are most interested in. And if you
Yeah.
don't meet whatever, and every investor has a criteria for what they're looking for in terms of rate of return. The point is, you've got to find out what that is because
Mm,
if you don't meet that, you're not getting money from that investor. So,
yeah.
you know, and doesn't matter how great the opportunity is, how great you are. It's if you can't give someone what they want in return, you're not getting money from them. Period. So rate of return is the first and most critical thing that an investor is going to look at.
Mhm.
And then once you get past that, you've met that criteria. Then the next question they have is, to themselves is, can I trust this person to actually deliver on getting me back
Yes.
this rate of return?
Yeah.
So they're going to look at you and they're going to look at the people you surrounded yourself with, your team. Can they deliver on the promise of this idea? When you've met that, now they want to look at the idea.
Mhm.
And basically when they're looking at the idea, they want to understand, are you solving a problem and are customers willing to pay for your solution? Right. That's where the market traction comes in. Do you have
Yes.
customers? Do you have agreements to buy from you? Once you go on the market, if you haven't gone to market yet, but there needs to be some validation that you've actually solved the problem that people need help solving, and they're willing to pay for it. Otherwise, it's just a great, it's just whatever, hobby, you know.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
and
I want to pause there for a moment because you covered things that I think are really important. One, you put things in order.
yeah,
You can tell who you're dealing with when they by based on the series of questions that they ask. The people that are checking the finances first, character
yeah,
second, and then your business idea after,
yeah,
you kind of have an idea who you're dealing with. If
yeah,
they are someone that is doing a character assessment and they've kind of bypassed the financial part, maybe they already did that math in their head and they already have an idea of what they're willing to risk and what they think they're going to get in return.
yeah, yeah,
But there's an order to these things. And
yes,
if you do not pay attention to that, then it's not only something that you may feel like, all right, well, I moved past that. Maybe they moved past it without asking you the questions because they
right,
already felt like they had the answers.
yeah,
But that's something for you to pay attention to as well.
yeah, and
You have to be
so
able to pay attention to those things. Yeah.
so the probability of you raising capital from the first person you approach is almost zero, right?
Mm,
So I tell entrepreneurs the first time you're pitching to someone, I I want you to focus less on the pitch, and I want you to focus more on the behavior of the person you're pitching to, right?
that part.
Tell me so they're going to tell you up front, hey, I need a business plan, I need a prospectus, whatever. So you're going to have prepared that. You're bringing that to the meeting. You hand that over to them. I want you to observe what's the very first thing they do. So you put a business plan in front of them, and I can guarantee you what an investor will do. They'll flip right to your financial page. Why do
Yes.
they do that? They do that because by looking at your financials, they can do a calculation in their head to determine what rate of return you're offering them for, they can see how much you want, when you're going to be able to repay, and based on the free cash flow you have and your
Hmm.
projections, if you took a reasonable percentage of that free cash flow and repaid them, what rate of return they'd be able to get. So they can do an ROI calculation literally in
Yeah.
seconds just by looking at your financials. Now they can determine whether or not this is something worth their time, right? And so I tell entrepreneurs, if they've already figured out that this isn't a deal they do, they're doing you a favor if they throw your business plan in the trash and tell you to get out of their office. Because what they're
Yes.
doing is they're saving you time. They do you a disservice if they sat there and let you pitch for a
Leading
half
you on.
hour, wasting your time, knowing they were never going to do the deal in the first place, right? So, as fearful as we are of hearing no, sometimes no is good, particularly when it comes early, right? Because it saves you time. Now it's like, okay, what you want to find out is why aren't you interested in doing this deal, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
because it's educating you about the marketplace, you know. Okay, well, maybe this type of person isn't the person I need to be talking to in the first place. And
Mhm.
and to be honest with you, again, if you do all this preparatory work we've been talking about, you would never have set up that meeting in the first place.
What we're really talking about is checking the boxes.
Yeah,
And if you don't know what boxes to check, then
yeah,
you
yeah,
need
yeah,
to think through the plan and who you're having these conversations with,
yeah,
because I know how many times I've gone into situations and the first thing that they do is they flip over to the finances.
yeah,
Because the finances aren't just them looking at how quickly would you be able to return the funds. It's okay, even if you were able to give me that money, what's going to be left of you?
yeah,
Am I going to be the bloodsucker that took your money and bankrupted your business? Because I don't really get to put what I used to laugh about on the corporate side is how many logos can we put in a presentation?
yeah,
And when you're talking about angel investors and certain people that are building their name based on the businesses that they built, then that's something else that they consider. So it's not just a matter of can they get paid back. It's what are you going to do with the money and the opportunity that I give you?
right,
Because every time I can show that I was able to pick a diamond in the rough is something that adds to my credibility and allows me to be able to do more of what I want to be able to do and get better people that
yeah,
want to be able to make those presentations. And that's why we're looking at things like Shark Tank and things like that. We
yeah,
see the people that get thrown out right away. And it's
yeah,
because what they had was a good business idea, but they didn't have a good business opportunity.
right,
And those
right,
are two completely different things. So I
yeah,
love the fact that you're talking about if someone shuts you down early, that's one of the best things that can happen because then you know, okay, well, where did I lose you? And that's the question that you're really trying to ask.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
that's what gives you the boxes to be able to check and go, okay, well, last time I didn't have a good business plan. When they flipped to the financial side, I didn't even get a word out of my mouth before they were like, yeah, this doesn't seem like it's going to work. Now
yeah,
you know where to spend your time.
yeah,
And then once they go past that part and then they start to ask you about everything else, like you said, then it may go into the character assessment. What happens after you're able to pay us back the money?
right,
And then it goes into the business idea and the business opportunity. So
yeah,
understanding those things is letting you know what phases that you need to be able to cover. There are a lot of people that will go to SBA and different places, and they will try to walk people through things. And because they don't hear what they want to be able to hear, unfortunately, there are a lot of people that are seeking validation, not guidance. And I think this is where you have to understand the difference. Like validation is someone telling you have a great idea.
yeah,
Great, that's fine.
yeah,
But when you go into rooms where you actually need funding and you need people to be able to believe in what you're doing and see beyond what you can see,
mm,
that's where all of those things start to kick in. So I love that you're covering these things because these are the boxes that you need to check.
right,
And if you can check those boxes, great, then you get further through the conversation. If you go in and you hit a wall, don't just feel broken down or like, oh, well, it didn't work for me. Take note of what didn't work and ask the follow up questions when you still have that audience to be able to answer those questions because that is going to arm you for life, not just
yeah.
that moment, but for life.